Good morning, JRC. So today's Thursday, which sometimes I've had to look at a calendar to figure out what day it actually is. But it is one of the days that traditionally we read Torah in Judaism. We read Torah on Shabbat and also on Mondays and on Thursday mornings because we read Torah in the times when the community naturally gathers together. And so Mondays and Thursdays were market days when the community would go to the store, do a little shopping, and be all in one place so that everyone could hear and learn from the Torah portion of the week. Not so much unlike the lines we're seeing at the grocery stores today. The ancient Israelites were less hoarding toilet paper and wipes, but were probably in a place where they were still gathering and needing to connect. This week's Torah portion is called Vayakel, and for me, it's a special portion because this was my bat mitzvah portion, as many of you know, at JRC. And with gratitude and remembrance to the inimitable Kate Kinzer, who was my tutor, I still remember, Amen, kehu meidchem, truma ladonai, yiviecha, et trumat ladonai, zachav v'chesef unechoshet, which is basically the introduction to the Torah portion. This Torah portion, Vayakel, means, and he gathered. And although it's not good grammar, it's really like saying, and he communitied, and he created a gathering of the whole community together. The he is Moses, Exodus chapter 36. And this is a time in which the whole community was gathered together to bring all of the gifts of their heart to build the Mishkan, to build a sacred space. We're trying to figure out right now how we're all supposed to gather in this time of physical distancing, feeling a little isolated, feeling like perhaps this is a pretty hard undertaking. A lot of people are alone. A lot of people are stuck inside. And the only people we're gathering with are our immediate families, which for those of us that have other people that we live with can be a blessing and can be a little frustrating. And for those who are living alone can be incredibly lonely. So right now we're trying to figure out, how do we community? Judaism says that we do so by praying together in a minyan. A minyan is the required number of Jews to say certain prayers, like to say Baruch Hu, or to read from the Torah. It's also the required number to say Mourner's Kaddish together, so no one should mourn alone. It's the required number to say the blessings at a wedding. And so there are all different ways in which we are supposed to have 10 people gathered together. And where do we learn this? We learned this from our Mishnah. Pirkei Avot, chapter 6, says this. They didn't illustrate it this way, but I did. This says, Asara she'oskin ve'oskin b'Torah, hashchina sruya beinehem. Asara she'yoshvin, 10 people who sit, ve'oskin b'Torah, and occupy themselves with Torah, hashchina, the presence of God, sruya beinehem, abides among them. Now, this verse from Pirkei Avot is something you may recognize if you've ever been in my office at JRC. It hangs on the wall. This piece of artwork is a piece of artwork that I did in 2009 in honor of my graduation from rabbinical school. So this piece of artwork is called Minyan. And around the outside, it has the haftarah for the week, which said, Roni v'simchi bat Zion, sing and rejoice, O child of Zion, ki hineni va v'shachante betochech ne'umya, because I am coming to dwell among you. And the inner ring says that verse, 10 who gather and occupy themselves with learning Torah, the presence of God dwells with them too. So the question is, how do we create a time and a space where 10 of us can gather, or more of us can gather when we're not physically supposed to be in each other's presence to keep everyone safe? So art for me is a huge way of creating the divine presence. This piece is called Minyan, and embedded in each one of those red swirls in the middle is the name of the 10 of us that graduated and became rabbis together from RRC. You can pick a verse, any verse. Maybe it's from a prayer book, maybe it is from the Torah, maybe it is from your favorite poem or your favorite children's book, and get out crayons or markers or watercolors or paint and see what it would be like to illustrate it. One of the ways that we gather is virtually. But one of the ways we gather is by sharing and letting each other into our lives. Part of what I encourage us to do today and whatever tomorrow brings is to keep gathering, keep finding ways to stay connected, so that while we can't vayakel, we cannot community in person, we can always continue to community virtually through creating beauty and art in the world, on the phone, or simply waving at our neighbors across the street. Have a great day, JRC.